Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Beer 30 Sanity Session. This is Rusty, the insane individual that represents the insanity in all of us. So here's to me, you, here's to me, should we ever disagree. Here's to you know who, M.E. This is a Halloween costume, okay? I'm going trick or treating, but I'm gonna take my shotgun. I'm gonna cheat. Trick or treat. Oh, anyway, enough said. Uh, Moving right along. Beer 30, Friday evening, sanity session. Get your favorite beverage and do what you got to do and relax. That's the whole key to life, ladies and gentlemen, is learning how to relax. If you don't know how to relax, I don't know what to tell you. Take some time. You gotta ask yourself, how do I relax? But anyway, moving right along to the this is Halloween, obviously. I don't dress like this every day, and probably I should. Why? Probably. Uh, well, I'd get more attention, but I'd probably be put away in the place where they put people like that. But anyway, what we'll talk about is we'll talk about Halloween beginning. Let's see, Halloween. I was going to let me ask Google, what is Halloween all about? Let me turn this thing on. Maybe I can get it going here. Uh, no, I don't have the hotspot feature on there, so we'll have to skip that. Let me ask this thing. Find out what it's all about. Whoops, wrong. Hey Google, why do we have Halloween?
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, it was believed that on that day, the souls of the dead returned to their homes, so people dressed in costumes and lit bonfires to ward off spirits.
Okay, I guess that makes sense if y'all heard it. But anyway, Halloween. How many of you actually have been trick or treating? I have. How many? How old were you when you started going trick or treating? Majority of you probably started probably 5 or 6 in that range, and probably gave it up when you were about 50 or so. You think? You know what I mean? The neighbors got tired of you showing up every Halloween with a bag. But anyway, let me take these off for a second. Ding, now I can see. But anyway, yeah. But I think I was about 6 years old. We lived in the country, 3 miles out of town, but it might as well have been 30, you understand? And so we would be driven into town. Well, I guess it was just me, you know. I have I had a twin brother and sister 6 years older than me, and then another sister that's 4 years older than me. So by the time I started trick or treating, I doubt that they were still doing it. I don't recall being with any of them. I could have been, I just don't recall it. Okay, but I remember it was a big event for me at that age, and yeah, of course, I don't know why, but there were the kids in town always did things. Everything was more exaggerated. You know what I mean? Like the country people that came to town, they'd have a paper bag over their head with some eye holes cut out or something. And I had a Lone Ranger mask. I think I got out of a cereal box, or something, and it wasn't a big deal. Hang on, skull. No, my mother and father didn't really. We weren't big on it, and no kids ever trick or treated out in the country anyway because the houses were too far apart. So you had to go into town to trick or treat. And of course, the kids in town, they had whole outfits. You know what I mean? They had head things, for mask and body gear and stuff. And here I come in with a Lone Ranger mask, but I didn't think anything about it. And always, and of course we had a paper bag for the treats to be put in. Trick or treat. And trick or treat. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you point a gun at the person in the house, they give you a lot more. I found that out. No, I'm kidding, kidding, kidding. But no, back then, of course, this was like 1951. A lot of your parents weren't even alive then. You know what I mean? And so uh, yeah, it was a small town, Texas, South Texas, between San Antonio and Corpus Christi off Highway 181, Southeast Texas, whatever that happens to be, and small town. Probably at that time, probably 2,500 people, and everybody knew everybody, and so it was safe. You know, I mean, we would go all over town, and the whole town participated. You know, the stores were decorated. You know, the with Halloween stuff, and the houses, you know, had ghosts and stuff. You know, or whatever they could make up to hang in trees and stuff. Yeah, it was a big deal, particularly at age 6. And you know, you'd get a little bit of candy. Some of it was homemade. You know, you'd get cookies in little packages that people had made, and it was damn good. It was all damn good, and you didn't fear about being poisoned or razor blades or any of that shit. That hadn't. That was way later. You know, that killed all that. But so yeah, we'd roam around all over town, and you know, did we ever quote trick anybody? No. All I wanted was a bag full of stuff, and I couldn't wait till I got home so I could dump my bag out on the floor and go through all that stuff. Because see, some people would actually give you coins, you know, nickel, dime, quarter, whatever, and hell, you might get home and have a dollar or close. You know what I mean? But back then, a dollar was like $50 now. I mean, you could go to a movie for 20 cents, okay? You get a hot dog for a nickel, you know? So if you had a quarter, hell, you were rich, you know? And so anyway, that was like the 1951 era, age 6 range Halloween. Then we'll move on to 1955, age 10. Did it change? Yep, yep, yep. Well, sort of. I still had the same old mask. God darn, I was the Lone Ranger, and I knew I was fooling the crap out of him. It was just like this, or smaller, and it was black. That was it. That was my whole costume. Okay, and I knew that nobody knew who I was. Shit, you know. But that's kids, you know what I mean? And anyway, but then we moved up to another level because in downtown Kennedy, Texas, and most small towns at that time, the storefronts had some of them had big glass windows, you know, where they could show their products and stuff. And furniture, we had one furniture store, Stimpson's had two or three big glass windows and stuff. And one of the things that we would do that we thought was just really being mean, we'd take bars of soap, just regular old bath soap, and write on those windows, you know, make marks on those windows, you know what I mean? And oh, we thought that was just being cruel. Well, hell, all they had to do was come out and with some water and wash it off, you know, it didn't hurt anything. But we thought it did. That was the main thing. We thought we were really doing something uncouth, you know, totally drastic, you know. But yeah, we do all of the whole town. You know, we didn't just do one store's windows. We'd go get them all, you know, and then we'd come back and be sure we did a good job, you know. And it was you know, all the kids participated. You know, it wasn't just me and a few of my buddies. It was the whole age group that was out trick or treating, you know. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Uh, it was. I look forward to Halloween. It was a big deal. Of course, going into town and just running around with a bunch of kids was a big deal for me because the town kids, you know, they were within blocks of each other, and I was miles away. You know, it was a big, big difference. It was a different planet. You know, and then we fast forward to let's see, let's go to 1960. I'd been about 15 years old in that range out, and boy, then we really got into it. We really got into some good stuff then. Why do I have this stupid mask on and this cape? I don't know. Just pretend it's Halloween, all right? Here's to you, here's to me. Well, I wanted to do something Halloweenish, and so I guess this is about as good as I can come up with. And this mask is made out of the hottest material they could possibly make it out of. But anyway, why don't you take it off? I might. Anyway, and let's see, 1960, age about 15. Yeah, as long as you were in school, you could participate honorably in the Halloween events. Now, at age 15, I don't remember going around, uh, you know, trick or treating at door to door. But when you were that old, then you got into the main event, and that was the water balloon wars. And water balloons, we get these bags of cheap bags of water balloons. I think you could probably get 100 for a nickel, and and you put them on a spigot, outside spigot, and fill them up with water. But you didn't want to get them too. If you got them too big, when you tried to throw them, they would burst. Okay, and then you just get water all over you. You hadn't done nothing. So what you do, you'd get them about about this big around, you know what I mean, where it was just a little bit bigger than the palm of your hand, so you could really chunk the crap out of it, and it would still hold a good pint or more of water. And yeah, and what we do, we had wash tubs in the back of pickups, and there were usually probably 6 pickups involved that were hauling people around. Whoever the kids were that had pickups. I didn't have one, but whichever kids did, several of us would load up in the back. There'd be 6 or 8 in each pickup, and it'd be like teams, like jousting, on Main Street. You'd pass each other on Main Street. One would be coming from this way, and you got the picture, right? But anyway, and each group would have a whole wash tub full, or maybe 2 wash tubs full of water balloons, and so and as you passed, you're just throwing them out there. You're trying to hit something, and in each vehicle is probably going maybe 20 miles an hour. But one's going 20 this way, one's coming 20 this way. You got a 40-mile-an-hour impact. Okay, you think that doesn't make a difference? Hell yeah, you get hit with about 4 or 5 pounds of water. Damn balloon. Hell, I did. Several times. I'll never forget one time. Uh, I was in the center of the back of the pickup, just behind the cab. You understand? If you can picture that. And I was what I was doing. Well, I thought I was smart. I'd get a water balloon. I'd look through the windshield of the back through the front and see somebody coming. And just when they got close, I'd raise up and let them have it. You know what I mean? And that way I didn't have to take all that abuse. Well, anyway, it didn't take somebody long to figure that out. So somebody was watching me through the damn windshield. Apparently, when I raised up, woof, yo, shit didn't kill me, but got my attention. But yeah, kids that were walking down the street on the sides of the streets, they also got bombed, and they also bombed us. I mean, if they weren't in the back of a pickup and they had 5 or 6 water balloons, they would bomb the people in the trucks. You know what I mean? Hit the windshield, bomb the truck. You know what I mean? But that was just plain old country ass crazy fun. Nobody got hurt. All the we only had one policeman. He didn't say anything. He was probably in the back of a pickup. But it was just fun. And people actually, some of the grown-ups would actually park in their cars on the side street and watch the water balloon fights. You know what I mean? Or stand on a street corner where they could see it. We never chunked anything at the adults. We had a lot of respect for our older people, our parents, and so forth. And no one would have ever considered throwing a water balloon at an older person. Now, if you were in school and you were recognized, you were fair game. I mean, you were fair game. I don't care if you didn't have any water balloons and you were wearing your Sunday best. You got nailed, okay? But anyway, that was Halloween 1950, 55, and 1960. And in 1998, I think I gave it up. When they started throwing real hand grenades, that's time to get out of this shit, man. I mean, yo, this ain't fun anymore. Here's to you, here's to me. I won't go into all the negative shit that ruined Halloween, to the point where kids now will only be allowed to go in gated communities to houses that are identified as good by their parents. But as well as I do what those events were, and that's life. Get over it or whatever. But yeah. But having said that, think about that period in your life when you were actually young enough to really enjoy and look forward to Halloween. Think about it. Those were the good times. Those were really fun times. You know what I mean? And there was a lot going on there. You could just think of all the frustrations you got out when you really nailed an enemy of yours or somebody you didn't like, and you knocked them completely out of the pickup with a water balloon. Yeah, that just made you feel good all over. Hold on. Anyway, all that stuff's in the past, right? And it's a funny thing that we always remember the past. Okay, you can't erase it. But one of the things you can't remember is the future. I wonder why that is, because it hasn't happened yet. If you want to know, somebody says, God, you're always dwelling in the past. They can't dwell in the future. I mean, shit. They can dwell in the right now, like as it moves forward. But anyway, let me have another swallow of this magic elixir. Well, that one's empty. Bye bye, beer. You know, these cans have got to be good for something, don't they? Well, I've used them for a lot of things. Anyway, let me get this one ready here. Oh, we just happen to have a new one right here. See, that's what you call planning behind or planning ahead, depending on your point of view. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Beer 30 Halloween special with Rusty 78609, hoping it brought you some semblance or a little bit of sanity in a mad world. I feel like it's Halloween every day, sometimes. I mean, when I look at, some of the younger generation, like 15 to 25 in that range. Not all, but some. It reminds me of Halloween back in the, in the 50s. But that's life. Things change. I'm with the older school. Do I have any problems with that? None at all. None at all. Life is what it is, man. Enjoy the crap out of it, and enjoy your Halloween, and enjoy your weekend coming up. I'm not sure exactly when we celebrate Halloween. Let me find out here. See if Google can tell me. When do trick or treaters when shit it came out here fairly well, but it got here and it all got it garbled up. When will trick or treaters be trick or treating? She ain't gonna get that one. No.
According to Wikipedia, trick or treating usually.
Okay, the evening of October the 31st. Okay, that's Monday, and I'll be traveling. I'll be in Llano, Texas, and they won't come to the RV park, I'm sure. But anyway, doesn't matter. And there's only one house in this whole area that I've seen that has any Halloween decorations, and they don't have any kids. That's weird. But anyway, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, maintain your sanity and enjoy your life. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Carpe diem means seize the day in Latin. Carpe diem. Adios, bye bye. Buy anything you want. Use the Amazon link. Drink plenty of water, whatever you want to drink. And take deep breaths. That really helps. Breathing in, breathing out slowly, that helps. It does. But anyway, with that, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, stand guard at the door of your mind. Why? Because all those little neurons in there are trying to form good thoughts, and you got to give them some good stuff to work with. So enjoy your Halloween, and for those of you that are 70 years old and still trick-or-treating, that's the way to do it. Just put the weapon, just leave the weapon at home and go trick or treating. All right. Adios, amigos. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.